Dear students, I, Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad, once again welcome you all to this session of the pharmaceutical analysis. In this video, we are going to cover about the limit test that is used for the iron. In previous video, we have covered with the limit test for the sulfate as well as the chlorides. If you have not watched my previous videos related to the pharmaceutical analysis, you can watch it also. And if you like the content of this my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to get more videos related to the pharmaceutical analysis. So let's begin our today's session related to the limit test for the iron. Now before starting our today's session, just we will see what are the learning outcomes of this session. Means after this session, what you should understand. So after this session, students will be able to explain the statement, reaction, as well as the principle involved in the limit test for the iron. As we know, iron is a metal which is present as a small or the trace amount of impurities in certain substances. So it's necessary to control this amount of iron, because it may catalyze the various reactions in the body. So that can be carried out or controlled by performing the limit test for the iron. Now what is the limit test for the iron? What is the statement for this limit test? So limit test for the iron is based on the reaction between iron and the thioglycolic acid, which is carried out in a ammonia solution, or you can say in ammonical solution, to form a pink to deep reddish purple colored complex. So this pink to deep reddish colored complex is formed when we carry out the reaction between the iron. This iron is present as impurities in our sample, which is reacted with the thioglycolic acid, which forms a deep purple reddish colored complex of the iron thioglycolate, and the intensity of this colored complex is directly proportional to the amount of iron that is present in our sample. If the amount of sample of iron or the impurity is less, then whatever the color that is formed, that colored complex will be less intense. And if the amount of iron is more, then it leads into the formation of the highly colored complex. So in this way, we can compare the color that is formed in our standard solution, like what we have done in case of the limit test for the sulfate as well as the chloride. Another difference between the limit test for the iron as well as the limit test for the sulfate is that in that case there is a formation of the opalescence, while here there is a formation of colored complex will takes place. Now, so the color that is formed due to the formation of coordination compound of the ferrous thioglycol. First, actually what happens, if our sample is consisting of iron in the ferric state, then this ferric state undergo the oxidation and it will be converted into the ferrous form, and this ferrous will be reacted with the thioglycolic acid. So original state of oxidation of the iron is immaterial, since thioglycolic acid also reduces the ferric ion to the ferrous state. As we know, this limit test for iron is based on the formation of the pale pink to deep reddish purple color by the reaction with the iron and the thioglycolic acid in presence of the citric acid in a solution which is made alkaline with the ammonia solution. Now just I will tell you what is the use of the citric acid here. Just before that, we will see what is the reaction. So initially, as I said, that whatever the form of that ferric acid is there, this ferric form of the iron is first reduced to the ferrous. So that is the importance of thioglycolic acid, because it is capable of reacting with the ferric form as well as the ferrous. So conversion of or the formation of coordinate complex will take place with the ferrous form of the ion only. So here you can see ferric, first on reaction with the thioglycolic acid, it will be converted into the ferric thioglycolic complex. First, reduction of the ferric form of that particular compound is carried out. Next, this ferrous form that is formed in earlier step once again reacts with the thioglycolic acid. Thioglycolic acid is nothing but the SHCH2COOH, where the one of the hydrogen of this acetic acid is replaced with the SH. So it is known as the thioglycolic acid, and here you can see in this way there is a formation of ferrous thioglycolate complex will takes place. So initially reduction of ferric is carried out to the ferrous, and this ferrous is reacted with the thioglycolic acid, and there is a formation of ferrous thioglycolate complex will takes place. In this way the reaction is conducted during this particular limit test for the ion. Now the color that is produced is compared with the standard color containing a definite quantity of the ion by viewing transversely through the Nessler cylinder. Like our whatever the limit test for the ion, chloride and sulfide, we are going to observe the color that is produced in this particular limit test. Citric acid is added in the official process to prevent the precipitation of ion by the ammonia. Because what happens, if we add the ammonia to the ion solution, it leads into the formation of the precipitate of the ion. Ion gets precipitated in the form of the Fe ferrous hydroxide depending upon the oxidation state of the ion that is present in the ammonia. So in this way citric acid will prevent the precipitation of the ion. Either there is a formation of ferric hydroxide or ferrous hydroxide will take place depending upon the oxidation state of the ion. And to avoid this, we are going to carry out the addition of the citric acid. Citric acid makes soluble complex with the ion, and ammonia will not be able to react with the ion, and due to which precipitate of ion will not be formed. So it just will provide the alkaline medium. In this way, this reaction, that is the reaction between the ion and ammonia, is prevented by adding the citric acid. This is very important to add the citric acid, or we should know the role of the citric acid. Now we will see how different solutions are prepared. Just only one solution is required for the limit test for the ion, where we are going to prepare the ion standard solution. The standard solution of ion is consisting of a 20 ppm of concentration. So whatever our pharmaceutical substance is there, that pharmaceutical substance must consisting of a less quantity as compared to the 20 ppm. If this is more, then that particular substance is not suitable as a pharmaceutical substance. Now how to prepare this ion standard solution? Dilute 1 volume of 0.1726% weight by volume solution of ferric ammonium sulfate in a 0.05 molar sulfuric acid to 10 volumes of distilled water. Now it contains ion in the ferric state. So this ferric state is reacted with thioglycolic acid, which is converted into the ferrous, and then ferrous will form the complex with the thioglycolic acid. In this way this ion standard solution is used. Now just we will take one example how to perform this limit test if you are performing in a laboratory. You can see here, as we know, for limit test we are going to use the Nessler cylinder, which are a special type of apparatus which is having the approximate capacity of 50 ml, which are available in more size also, but we are using this particular Nessler cylinder which is having a capacity of 50 ml. So first we are going to prepare the test solution and the standard solution. So we are going to perform, or we are going to prepare both the solutions simultaneously, because we need to carry out the comparison between the test and the standard. So here we are going to take a 10 ml of test solution. Now test solution means whatever the sample. Suppose we are going to perform the limit test for the NaCl. So we have to use the specific procedure that is provided into the individual monograph of that particular sodium chloride, and we have to dissolve that sodium chloride sample into the, say for example, water. Then 10 ml of test solution. Similarly, we have seen the procedure how to prepare the standard solution. So we have to take the 10 ml of standard solution. Then we are going to carry out the addition of citric acid. As you know, here citric acid is added to carry out the prevention of precipitation of iron with the ammonia. If as such we are going to carry out the addition, or we are going to perform the limit test, then whatever the ion that is present in your sample, it will react with the ammonia, which leads into the formation of precipitation of the ion, and that's why it is necessary to carry out the addition of citric acid. So due to the addition of citric acid, it forms the soluble complex with the ion, and the ammonia is not capable of reacting with our ion. After that, we are going to carry out the addition of thioglycolic acid. Okay, now though we are going to carry out the addition of thioglycolic acid, it is necessary to carry out the maintenance of the pH, because unless and until we make the solution alkaline, thioglycolic acid or that purple colored complex is not formed. So once we have added the 0.1 ml of thioglycolic acid, first it will convert ferric into the ferrous, and then it will react with the ferrous thioglycolic acid complex. As soon as we add the ammonia till alkaline, means once we will do the alkaline solution, then the purple colored complex is formed between the thioglycolic acid and the ferrous. So as you see here, if this particular colored complex that is formed is less intense as compared to the standard, here you can see clearly color difference is there between this test sample as well as the standard. If this intensity of color of that particular complex that is formed is less in the test solution, then we can say this our sample passes the limit test for the ion. And if this colored complex is having more intense color as compared to this standard ion color, then we can say our pharmaceutical substance does not passes the limit test for the ion, and that cannot be suitable for the use as a pharmaceutical substance. In this way, by comparison, we can carry out the determination of whether your pharmaceutical substance is good quality or not can be decided. So here, this is all about the limit test for the ion. If you have any queries related to the pharmaceutical analysis, you can contact me on this particular mail ID. And if you like the content of this my YouTube channel, please like my videos, share with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get the more videos related to the pharmaceutical analysis. Thank you.